Hello everyone. So I am currently at Mount Shasta, which is the root chakra of the entire earth. And I felt so compelled to make this video and share some of my insights and kind of downloads really that I've been receiving since being here in this really powerful energy vortex. It's a really powerful mountain, but just sacred site in general that embodies so much Shakti energy. It's a really kind of powerful, kind of feminine type energy that is just like when you come here, you have the ability to experience so much synchronicities. That's what I have been experiencing these past few days. It's been really intense, and I've been here by myself, so it's just been a really wild experience, and I kind of wanted to share some of that with you all. And in addition to synchronicities, I've just been seeing like orbs of light everywhere. Seriously, like I'll take a picture and there'll be crazy orbs of light, things kind of floating around that seem very mystical and that I just normally don't see. It's just yeah, it has a very magical essence to it. I'm sitting in a really beautiful meadow right now, and again, I just felt really called to share some of my own personal insights, because every time I visit this area, I swear I leave very changed in a really positive way. So if any of you guys have ever visited Shasta, you probably would know that, you know, it just, this energy vortex has the power to kind of bring out a lot of this this stillness and introspection. And if you haven't, I highly recommend visiting. It's again, it has incredible energy. But another thing too actually is I think a big reason why there is so much spiritual energy here is that this land, this area, was believed to be the home of the Lemurians, which is a group of starseeds. So again, really having so much of that mystical energy can come from that. And then when you visit, you just become very introspective, and it's almost like the divine wants to use you as a vessel to kind of like, it wants to operate through you, right? So you can have these experiences and share what you've experienced with the world, to kind of help humanity realize that, you know, that we all have our own unique gifts, really, and as long as we realize that, we have the ability to really kind of tap into and tune into those into those gifts, and really realize like our ultimate potential, which honestly, guys, is like, it's just that anything is possible, you know, once you really believe that and embody that, you can just be this vessel to help humanity awaken and shift from these kind of 3D frequencies, these kind of lower frequencies, to 5D frequencies, which are frequencies of love and oneness and unity, which is really what we need to be moving into. You know, it's like there's that kind of sentiment that Eckhart Tolle shares, which is like evolve or die. And I know that sounds intense, but it's kind of like where we're at now. You know, we need to be realizing all these things that that I share, and so many other spiritual teachers share. And it's not until then that we can actually make progress, right? Until we can actually realize that, again, this idea of unity and oneness, and just that we are all divine beings. And, you know, as long as we continue to live from that lowercase s self and the ego mind and all these lower frequencies, we're never going to be able to tap into and tune into that. So so again, if you didn't know, that this mountain is the root chakra of the earth. So really, you know, it's the Muladhara chakra, but again, because it's so mystical, there's really pretty bird sounds everywhere. Because it is so mystical, it actually can also be seen as embodying a lot of the traits and the qualities of the crown chakra as well. So meaning, right, when you come here, you really can kind of experience that like ultimate connection to the divine and completely dissolve the ego and be in that space of stillness, right? So that's kind of where I've been, and it's just been a very introspective space to be in, and again, it's really powerful. So that's why I do kind of recommend, if you do decide to visit here, it's actually ideal to come alone, because it brings that out of you, and you can just again ask, the Great Spirit, what do you want from me, right? And that's kind of the space that I've been in, and that's why I've been so compelled to kind of create a lot of what I am creating. It's just like sometimes it just comes through me. It's not even me sometimes, if that makes sense. I think sometimes there's just like this effortless space that you're in, of like zero resistance, and that's basically what being inspired, right, is all about. It's living in spirit. So very inspiring energy vortex, and yeah, just incredibly powerful. So that's kind of what I just wanted to share with you all. There is so much more that can be said, but I'm kind of hoping that this video will encompass how you just really are the embodiment of all of this. Like, you are this, you are the embodiment of everything here, and of what created this, and how we really do live in a benevolent universe. This is a divine, capital D, divine benevolent universe that wants you to realize that this is your true nature. And it, again, as I mentioned, it's like not until we really realize that we can shift out of these old paradigms that are so unnecessary. And it, of course, really helps to come to these sacred sites. That's why it's, I encourage people to do that whenever they're maybe feeling like they can't experience that, right? You're not going to feel this way in a city, in a concrete jungle. It's like going to be really difficult to do that. I think a lot of people can really relate. It's not until you actually come here that you just, I don't know, this great spirit just kind of operates through you, and you can really tap into and tune into these Shakti frequencies. So I just kind of wanted to really let you all know that if you are going through a difficult time in life, or you're just experiencing this kind of state, like it's a weird kind of experience to have, where you're just like in the middle of things, where you're just like, you're not, you've been kind of already shifting out of the 3D, right? But you feel like you haven't fully embodied it, like all of this, right? All of what 5D frequency really entails, or is all about. You're like at the precipice, essentially, of everything. I was at that spot for years, and there are practices that you can do, and again, places that you can visit to help really accelerate your awakening, and really the embodiment of New Earth, right? What New Earth really entails, and that's where we need to be moving towards. So if you are in that place, you just have to realize that it's absolutely possible to get there, and you will get there. It just requires a bit more effort, and really devotion, and sometimes maybe even a little austerity towards kind of achieving these kind of spiritual, I don't know, I guess goals that you want to set for yourself. Because, like I said, I've experienced that, and I know what it's like, to kind of want to fully embody all of what this is. But sometimes, the ego gets in the way. And it's natural and normal too sometimes, right? We can't always be in that space. We can't always be in a energy vortex, and be in this, right, this space of inner stillness. Like some of us, we do live in cities, and we are in these concrete jungles, and it can be difficult in that way. So carve out, a few moments each day to really realize the state. I think everyone's spiritual practice is going to look different. I haven't even really been meditating so much lately myself. I've just been finding other ways to really embody the essence and nature of of stillness. And that could just be walking, miles in a meadow alone. And again, asking the divine, how can I kind of serve, right? Who can I help and how can I serve? And, use me as a kind of vessel. It's the Course in Miracles actually talks a lot about that. It's just this kind of way to ask the Great Spirit how you can kind of be of service to to humanity and the greater good in that way, and realize that the ultimate connection to everything. So again, that's kind of what I want to share with you all. This might have been a bit rambly, or just are just some of my musings. I've just been hiking miles and miles alone these past few days, and I just felt like I couldn't leave without sharing some of my own personal insights of this very powerful energy vortex that, again, has so much Shakti energy. And again, it can be difficult. I'm definitely not saying that it's easy, but it is definitely easier when, we all do come together and do this as one. So I actually am going to be having a program that launches soon that really encompasses so much of what I do talk about, and it'll be heavy on the kind of community aspect of the awakening journey and how we can actually live this kind of spiritual essence daily, and really understand what it's like to tap into and tune into these kind of frequencies and embody what it really means to live in 5D, even though we are oftentimes still stuck in that kind of ego mind and living in 3D. Because guys, like, we do live in a very fabricated reality, and I'm telling you, once you realize that you have the potential in your mind to break free from that, just simply by realizing that none of this is real, right? It's like this matrix Maya world where everything is fabricated, and not to really get into my thoughts on that, but the global elite, they don't want you to realize that, okay? Not to be all like conspiracy theory here, but you have the ability to realize your true divine nature, which is really something that's very powerful, and not in an egotistical way, not in an arrogant way whatsoever, but you are the ultimate expression of divine light and divine truth. And if there's anything that I can leave you all with, it's to help you understand that you are all that is and all that exists. And it can be hard, right? When you see all the shit really that's going on in the world. It's like negativity everywhere. There's so much bad that does go on in the world, right? I mean, there has been an ongoing genocide for the past 2 years, in the Middle East, like, that we all know about, and you see that, and it's just beyond horrific. But for all of that, as much as all of that exists, there is equal part and even greater amount of benevolent forces operating in the world and good, and all of that truly has the power, just the amount of high vibrational frequency good and high vibrational frequency people that even exist and that are doing that kind of good to help, again, humanity shift into 5D and help them awaken. It essentially cancels out all that lower frequency. David Hawkins, he talks a lot about that in his books, so I recommend checking that out. It's kind of like the map of consciousness, right? So once you realize that all of that, the benevolent forces that are operating in humanity's greater good is canceling out all the negativity, and you, my friend, have the ability to be part of those benevolent energies, right? The good forces that are working to help humanity realize their ultimate true divine nature. So, and I'm kind of just rambling here, but that's what I wanted to leave you all with today. I hope this was insightful. Reach out to me if you need any kind of support. I've been doing Dharmic healing sessions lately and been giving out free discovery calls. And I also have a new program launching soon, so get on the wait list if you're interested in that. It's going to be very heavy on community, and again, how we can actually learn how to embody and live spirit daily, essentially, even when we're not here. Because the guy's like, I don't live here, I'm not here every day. So I know it's not always easy when you are kind of in that in the rat race, living on autopilot. You know, your mind is still in that kind of 3D state, and you're living in a, you know, we all are, right, living in this matrix in my world. It can be so intensely difficult. And that's why I was saying that if you are in that precipice of feeling like, okay, you have done some progress, yeah, but you're not fully there yet, well, that's probably because it can be difficult to do when you well, first off, you don't have community of like-minded people around you, but also when you are living in these areas that don't aid in your awakening journey and journey towards self-discovery and discovering that capital S self. So again, I hope this video was insightful. I'd love to know if any of you guys have visited this area, and if you've experienced anything kind of similar to what I've shared, any of the kind of synchronicities, any of the wild like orbs of light, things floating around that you don't normally see on a day-to-day basis, just feeling that intense Shakti energy from this beautiful feminine mountain. So that's all I wanted to share with you all today. Again, reach out to me if you need any kind of support, and I'm sending so much healing energy your way from Mount Shasta, from this very powerful energy vortex that is really unlike anything. And I hope you can just, at the very least, feel this kind of energy that I've been feeling, because I'm sending it to everyone, and sending all of the peace, all of the love. And I just want to remind you that you are the highest expression of divine light, of divine love, and you are all that exists. So more to come soon. I'm really feeling very enthusiastic about what I have to share with you all. Hope you all have a very blessed day, and we will talk soon. Bye.